Welcome, amazing people. Hello. It's good to be here tonight. Friday, the 27th of September. Think about that, man. Think about how fast this year has gone. And as soon as I start talking, Finn is in it to win it. Why don't you sit down, baby? Why don't you sit down? You can see this right here. This is a little box. Oh, that's her box. That's a lid from, like bank boxes. You put like your, tax documents, P&Ls, all that stuff in there. Yeah. She can't, so I have them stored in another room, but like they're out right now. And she takes the top off of them and it's like king of the box. Whoever sits in that box. Finn, we've been so good. Come here. Oh. Yeah, it's just been one of those things that, yeah. She loves a Sharpie because she can't claw it. It's slippery, and she likes to play with it. So this is all you have to do. Isn't that right, Finn? Why don't you sit down here? Sit down. There you go. Anyways, welcome, man. This is a great week. Very excited about some things going on. I guess the best place to start out is if you guys have any topics or whatnot, I'll ask you at some point. I know Heather mentioned something about Penn Peak. Let's definitely get into that tonight. But yeah, so last week's episode was a humdinger. Some people had some comments and things to say about that. That's awesome, and I appreciate it. And yeah, so Damien Dumar, obviously I don't believe everything, he's saying. What is really cool about the episode, though, is that he's saying, I don't care what you believe. This is what the elites believe. Hey, if that noise is getting on your nerves, let me know. If Finn's being too loud. Because this could go on forever. Finn, why don't you just sit down, baby? Here, why don't you just sit down? There you go. Just sit down. You're good. Anyways, yeah, so, hey, John, how you doing? Lori, good to see you. Finn, here, get in your box. Here, come here. Get in your box. Sorry, folks. Anyway, yeah, so what do you guys think? I mean, yeah, it looks like all my swelling is down. Yeah, it's awesome. Everything's good as far as my mouth goes. Everything's great. So, there you go. Good fan. It's kind of crazy, like, the stuff that he's saying. And, so what I've wanted to do was I wanted to bring someone on like Damien, who has, he has his worldview, and that's fine. I wanted to bring on, though, someone who kind of wanted to talk about some of the similar things from maybe a different angle perspective. And I'm trying to work that out. It's so funny. It's so funny because I really tried. I was putting together, and I mean, I've spent like 48 hours of research putting together this episode. And I get to this one thing, and I realize all of a sudden, oh my gosh, these dudes have already done the research, and they produced a documentary about what I wanted to talk about, and it is from a Christian viewpoint. They're called End Time Productions. It's the Fall, AULL brothers, and I've reached out to them to try to get them to come on the podcast. Why not have them talk about not only their documentary and all their research? I mean, they're talking about like 17, 18, 20 years, whatever, of research into this thing that they released just not too long ago. And they've got some other things. So I'm trying to get them on. Hard to get a hold of them, but yeah. So that's what I'm working on right now. But because I ran into this documentary, I was like, oh, pump the brakes. We got to go a different direction. And something that came up during that episode was the stuff about Dwight Eisenhower. Oh, John, your face looks good too. Stop it. And the Dwight Eisenhower stuff is interesting. And some people might know a little bit about it, but I think in a broader view, if you really look at the impact of what maybe happened, transpired, whatever, it's significant. And so this week's upcoming episode is about that. And I mean, this guy, like, think about it. He was president of the United States, 8-year run, 2 terms. But he had this transition period in our country. And if you think about like 1953, when he took office, to 1961, when he left office, 53 to 61. Man, totally different worldviews, right? From 53 to 61, think about that. 53, still innocence, almost like, Elvis hadn't come out with That's All Right Mama yet. The year after, 54. A year after, I believe January 54. Yeah, so it's, the birth of rock and roll happened at that time and whatnot. And you get to 61, just 8 years later, and that's the beginning of, the beatnik counterculture, all the race stuff that happened in the 60s and whatnot. And I think we can all objectively step back and say, okay, there was probably a difference between the world in 53, the roaring 50s, the awesome 50s, 53 and 61. Different worldview, mindset, and this all transpired during the Eisenhower presidency. So we'll dive into that. It'll be fun. It'll be a good episode. A lot of history. We all say we know history. And sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we just take like what we've been told or whatnot. But so yeah, we'll get into it. It'll be a good episode. I'm excited about it, and hopefully I can get the Fall brothers on board to come on the Ryan Files for an episode, and that would be exciting as well. But you think about it. This upcoming episode is episode 49. 1 episode a week. We're getting close to the 1-year anniversary of the Ryan Files, which is awesome. Let's go. And I appreciate you guys for being there along the way. We have not got all the viewership and everything else I've been hoping for, but you know what? I think it's just one of those things. It's like, okay, this is a test and see if we can overcome. And I'm in it to win it. So let's go. All right. Couple things. This is very interesting, and let me just share this with you, man. And I'm not doing this to call anyone out or anything like that. But let me just show you something that's kind of interesting that maybe not everyone is aware of, or whatever. How to help the channel. How to help the channel. Very simple. This is kind of a look at last week's episode. Just kind of a graphic for you to look at. And so, this is the episode. You see the 25 thumbs up. You see that thumbs up thing? That is important. If you watch it and if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, maybe consider not giving it a thumbs down. But hey, I can't argue with you. But man, we've got like as you see as it's scrolling here, comments. Those comments are all positive. Please feel free to comment. A lot of us watch and whatnot, but you've got the I don't know her name, Melissa, whatever, Dukic, and I hope you're on tonight. I appreciate everything that you said in your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 comments. A lot of it was the same. A lot of it was wacky, wrong, wacky, wrong, nothing's true, all this stuff. We get it. And I understand you did not appreciate his worldview or his outlook in life in general. And that's fine. And I even said in the episode, but, and in the real world of this stuff, that's called kind of, you can call it being a troll, or you can call it a number of things. So I have up to this point just kind of like been cool with all of it. But if you're gonna just like comment every 5 seconds about your belief and make it all about you, we'll probably moving forward have to start having a moderator and whatnot and deal with that. No, it's not because you don't have a right to have your opinion. My opinion is very similar to yours. The only difference is that we're not here to smash things and smash ideas and whatnot. I want to hear them. But I don't also want it to suddenly become about one person's just boom, 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 saying the same thing over and over again. I appreciate it, but at the same time, it's not what we're about. And if you had something to really say in a conversation, you would be here tonight. I don't see you here. So, and then that's the other thing you got to look out for. Are there just bots and trolls that are doing things? So I don't know certain people. Some of you I get to know, and some of you I don't. But anyways, ideas, there's nothing wrong with ideas. Doesn't mean all ideas are right. But I did appreciate hearing a side of the story that normally I wouldn't be privy to, where he's like, you don't have to believe me. I'm just telling you what the elites believe. And to me, that's interesting. And, obviously Damien put his worldview into things here and there, and that's fine. Again, I don't have to agree to it to hear it or listen to it. So anyways, let's all give Finn a big round of applause. She's being such a good girl. I don't want to say her name too loud because she's looking at me. Okay. So anyway, that's what that's about. A lot of people have asked why you never see Blue. Blue is, that kitty is a piece of work. Still full on kitten. Just, she doesn't understand, like, everything is a play. Everything is playing. Everything is playing. Even with the litter box, do you ever see those automatic litter boxes? I know there's some people on here that like cats. I absolutely love cats. They're so interesting to me. But Amy and I decided a while back we were going to go and get these cat boxes. Let me, I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about. Yeah. So we've got these. I love the cat in the picture. And yes, you can control it from your cell phone. It's awesome. It's an app. You can tell, like, by the weight of the kitty, which kitty went in there and used the litter box, which is so funny. But it kind of reminds me of Bud, just not big enough. But, the kitty does its business. It has a light sensor. It waits 2 minutes, and then it rotates. It rotates the entire litter box, empties out everything, and then comes back and settles. And it's great, man. Think about that. And yes, Finn, yes, we're talking about kitties. Come on over here. Look, I got a Sharpie. Oh, there's another Sharpie. Here, come here. Look at this. Oh, there's 2 Sharpies. Anyway, but Finn, all the other kitties, the older kitties, are like, they're cool with it. They're like, hey, you can't step on the keyboard. You can't. Finn. All the older kitties are fine. They know how to use a litter box. Blue, it's a full game. She uses the litter box and then goes out and sits and waits for it to rotate and then gets back in. And it's like a game. And she causes it to stop, and then you got to reset it and all that stuff. But that is if you have cats, man, consider getting one of those litter boxes. It's the best thing in the world. And like we got 4 cats. We got 2 of them, one upstairs and one downstairs, and they love it. And just dealing with kitty litter and all that's not the most fun thing, but all of a sudden it becomes really simple and it's awesome. So, what you doing, Finn? I guess Finn wants to be a big part of this episode. Yeah. So, yep. I talked about next week the Dwight Eisenhower thing, and we'll get into that. And the other thing I said I was going to talk about was aliens. Or I'm sorry. We are going to talk about aliens next week's episode. I did so frostbite. Last Saturday, a week from today, I was dealing with some accounting stuff and whatnot, but it's college football day. It's college football day. You can't step on that, Finn. You can't step on that. Ugh, such a diva. Hey, you can't step on that. So I was watching college football, and you just settle down. I don't think this is the first episode where Finn has really this is how Finn is all the time. Literally. Watching college football, and I set up like a standing desk. So I was able to do the accounting stuff, watch college football. It was a good Saturday. But, I obviously had the L5 issue in lacrosse and pinched a nerve, which has caused some numbness now in my leg and whatnot. And I just, the doc said, hey, you can't ice it enough. And so I dropped an ice pack down back there across my L5, which is, right next to your tailbone. And then on both sides where the sciatica is, and, dropped it back in there and got to work and left it in too long and ended up getting frostbite on my behind, which is so freaking hilarious and a little embarrassing. But anyways, that's the story about how I got frostbite in September. So speaking of September, hurricane season, thoughts and prayers out there to everybody who's been impacted by Helene. I know they said, I think 30 deaths already. And if you've never been in a hurricane, it is crazy. Mother Nature is powerful. And if you've ever been around a tornado, you've seen it. But a hurricane is a different level because it's so sustained, long. And man, it's just so powerful. And to see the satellite and whatnot is amazing. So, yeah, thoughts and prayers. I do love how our modeling has gotten a lot better, and we can really start predicting some of this stuff a lot better. I wish that people would maybe start to change their paradigm a little bit. Like, hey, we're getting more and more accurate. So maybe take refuge, because 30 people dead is a shame. And I think we're getting to a place in time with technology and whatnot that maybe we can avoid that. Obviously, there's some people that don't have a place to go or the money to travel, and that's an issue as well, and something that needs to be talked about. So, but yeah, I know Ohio, Pennsylvania, other places, North Carolina, obviously Georgia, Atlanta area, just a lot. So pray for those people, and let's get better, man. Let's bring that death toll down. All right. Something that was brought up, I asked the question before we ever went on. Anything anyone wants to talk about? Heather mentioned Penn's Peak plans. So yes, I want, and I feel like need to do something special in Penn's Peak. for people who enjoy the Ryan Files. So here's the thing. December are the dates. The 4th, 5th, and 6th I will be performing. And then the 7th, I'm bringing in a show that I produced called The Day the Music Didn't Die. I absolutely guarantee if you come out, you're going to love that show and the people in it. It's awesome. Please, penspeak.com, stop by, get tickets. Now, here's the deal. The 4th and the 5th, that's a Wednesday and a Thursday. Those are matinee shows. Wednesday, Thursday matinee shows. Those were designed for bus tour groups to come in. Now, obviously, you can come in and see those shows as well, but it's kind of like the and I don't mean this in a negative way, but the truth of the matter is the politics, the value of some of this is that, okay, I'll be there the 4th and the 5th. Penns Peak will bring in their buses, which is awesome. Their bus groups. And it's a dinner show and this and that and the other thing. But the 6th is the date that I would normally just be there. I'd only be there for one night, and Friday the 6th is that date. And what we've seen number-wise over the past couple of years is a lot of people will come out early to the matinee shows and not come to the nighttime show, and then they'll say, hey, your numbers are down for your show. But if you look across the boards, it's the same thing. So if you get a chance, please come out on the 6th, and obviously stick around, man. The following night, the 7th, is massive. And you talk about, we know what the Elvis thing is, most of us. But the 7th is a big deal. And you talk about living in a world where we need something uplifting and positive. Man, I've seen grown men cry at the end of this show. I've seen nothing but standing ovations. It's powerful. It's moving. It's music. It's great music. And it's just a return to a time maybe whenever maybe the innocence lost that we feel was still there. And it's really nice for a moment to step back and relive those moments. So definitely come out on the 7th as well. So 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, I will be in Pennsylvania around the Penns Peak area. The 7th is on the website. It's called The Day the Music Didn't Die. So yeah, check that out. Penspeak.com again. And, but we got to get, together. There's a couple places in that area that might be okay. But, the question is, do we do it before? Do we do it after? Obviously, Friday after the show would be the ideal time, but sometimes I don't get out of there until after midnight. So that doesn't make sense. Would a Saturday afternoon before The Day the Music Didn't Die make sense? Possibly. Would a Thursday night make sense after the matinee show? That could also make sense. So if you guys have any thoughts about places, about times, I think the two key points are Thursday after the matinee, but some people might not be in town, or Saturday afternoon before The Day the Music Didn't Die. Those are kind of the best two options, I feel. So you can give me your thoughts, obviously, right now, but you can also email me anytime. Email me, the Ryan Pelton Files at gmail.com. It's always the best way to get a hold of me. And, so the Ryan Pelton Files at gmail.com. And, it's just like, let's go out and just hang out and maybe talk. And, I think that the people that will be there are people who have supported this channel, the most over the year, and that is awesome and greatly appreciated. And we're slowly creeping up, 934 subscribers. We're going to get there. We're just, we're moving as we're moving. But one of the big things is, like I said, even these Friday night mic drops, like I showed you before, and I'll show you again. I'll show you again. You can see right there. See those thumbs ups and the thumbs downs? Stay away from that thumbs down. The thumbs up, there's 25 on that video. And you can obviously click the share, copy the link, and then share it on your social medias, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you've got. Share it with your friends. That's how you share it. And then the comments, make a comment. Make a comment because those are different than the chat that happens during the actual live chat that I'm always a part of. I always try to be a part of. That's a different thing. So when the video's done, just stop down and drop a comment. Maybe just and it doesn't you can ask questions. You can. I love when people say, "Hey, I like this, but I didn't understand that," or I'd love to hear about this more, or things like that. It doesn't have to just be, "Hey, great show," or whatever. We're trying to be people who can think and analyze and allow our curiosity to guide us to the truth. So that's kind of what this is all about. So episode 49 coming up. Think about that. 52 would be a year. It's coming up. I'm working on some things. I'd love to have something special for 52. It might be shortly thereafter. We'll see. So, anything else that anyone has? Let me see here. We're staying over close to home. I always email you. Heather, where are you emailing me at? Sometimes I don't get the Ryan at the Ryan Pelton file or Ryan at the RyanFiles.com. Sometimes I don't get those. Long story why. There's so many things I need to do. I need moderators. But until I get a little bit higher up in the hierarchy, I can't hire someone, and so it's just one of those things. We'll muddle through and we'll get there. Not fun at all. Not having the ability to eat anything I want yet. So it's been interesting. You're trying to get calories and you're trying to get protein to heal. But yet you can't eat certain things for a bit because you need everything to heal. And so, eating has been a struggle. But I'm going to try to make something tonight that's good and do the best I can. Great college football tomorrow. Great NFL on Sunday. Great episode coming up on Tuesday. Everything's good. And that's about it. You guys, anytime on these Friday night mic drops, before it starts out, drop in hey, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. If you have ideas. Some people said during the episode, actually, that they didn't know about the Eisenhower stuff. So I have a lot of research I've already done about it. So I'm pulling that up. And that's what this week's episode is going to be. Did Dwight Eisenhower meet with aliens? I'll give you the facts and you let me know what you think afterwards. So that's it. I think we're good. Appreciate you guys tuning in this week. Have an awesome weekend. And I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. Share this with your friends. Thumbs up, comments, please. Thank you. It means everything. And let's keep it rolling, baby. Stay curious. And I say that. Why do I say that? Why do I say it? It's not just a thing to say. It's because we all are being told what to believe all the time. There are people who want us to believe certain things. And this has been true for millennia. Governments and advertisers and people, hey, this is the best product. Hey, this is okay. People tell you all the time what to believe. But there's nothing wrong with being curious to find out for yourself do I actually believe what they're telling me to believe? That's it. Pretty simple. And you'd be surprised the amount of stuff that you'll believe if you don't become curious and try to figure out the truth of things on your own. That's it. So stay curious out there. Be awesome. Be kind to someone. Do something cool. Do something nice. Have someone, say thank you to you and tell them to pay it forward. Make the world a better place. No doubt about it. That's about it. Let me think here if there's anything else. Man, I don't think there is. Let me see if there are any of the comments here. Is there anything I can make and bring Saturday that you can eat? No, Julie, there's really not. And what's really cool is I want to be the first person to go through this and not have ice cream. Not have ice cream. I haven't had any ice cream yet. And that's one of the things you can have, But nope. No ice cream. Yeah, so we'll figure out a place at Penn's Peak. It'll probably be one of those 2 times on Thursday night or Saturday afternoon. We'll talk about it, figure it out. Ryan Pelton Files at gmail.com. Email me your thoughts, ideas. And that's about it, baby. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in. Stay awesome. Be curious. And we'll check out next week. Tune in. Tell your friends. Like. Comment. You're the best. Cheers.